He's a leader that ACN co-founders always go to do all our international training. He is one of the best leaders and speakers. Him and his wife are the first, listen up, him and his wife are the first husband and wife team that made it to senior vice president separately. That's deserve a hand. He made senior vice president, his wife made senior vice president. Their first husband and wife team in the history of the company that make it to senior vice president. I'm very proud of that. Wow, that's powerful. He's a great family man. He's also a very much of an influencer. He was a school teacher and a great role model. And now he has changed tens of thousands of lives across, not the United States, but across the world. So I'm happy to have him on the call today, a dear friend. Without further ado, the great, the one and only, the incomparable, Mr. Aaron Burt.
Good morning, my friend. Thank you so much for the introduction, sir. It means a lot, having all those accolades come from someone I admire so much as yourself, Mr. Thomas. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Burt. Thank you for having us. We're glad to have you on the call. It's a awaited, anticipated call. Hey, tell us a little bit about your story and your background, how you got started. What did you do before you got started with ACN?
Let me give you the heads up before I get into that. I've been on hold with the hotel that owes me a lot of money for the last 45 minutes. So as soon as they jump back on and make sure my credit card is clear, I'm going to say thank you. I'm just letting you know, if I cut out, that's what I'm doing. I'm getting my money back.
Not a problem, sir.
All right, fantastic. Well, listen, before ACN, I was a school teacher. You kind of went into it a little bit. I was a school teacher in Baltimore City. I'm sure that many of you know that teachers don't make a lot of money. My story is no different than what many teachers may have been. So here we are today. I've been involved with ACN for close to over 18 years. It'll be 19 years in October. 19 years in October. I was 24 when I started. I'll be 43 in a couple weeks. So I guess the reason I got started with ACN, I saw a post the other day from this networking group that I'm in, and it said, "Why did you get in network marketing?" And I thought to myself, I got in because all my friends were getting in, and that's as plain and simple as it is. I didn't get in for financial freedom. I didn't get in to make some extra money. I didn't get into, for whatever these perceived whys are. I got in because my friend was in. And I think that's a lesson to a lot of people on the call right now. A lot of us on the line know people, we're close with them who are not in our business. We have relationships with people who we've been friends with forever, who are not in our business. And to be honest with you, my best friend told me to get in. He was aggressive with me to get started. He didn't ask me, he told me. There was no questions, there was a lot of statements. He harassed me, he bothered me. And a lot of people get turned off by that kind of approach. But to be honest with you, I knew my best friend wasn't trying to make money off me. It came to a point where I knew he was trying to make money with me. So I'm excited about the fact that, I got in network marketing because my friends were in. I'm excited about the fact that my friend was aggressive with this conversation and getting me started, because I use that today in a lot of my trainings. A lot of us are too soft. We're too passive when it comes to the conversation that we're having with someone. That residual income can really change your life forever. But sometimes people need to be told what to do instead of asked what to do. Can't hear you, boss. You're muted.
Hold on. All right. So you got in because your friends got in. So you got in on a different, everybody gets in for a different reason. And yours is different because your friends were getting in. It's like the thing to do. Now, did you ever suspect that the power of network marketing, the power of leverage, the power of residual will give you the lifestyle that you have today?
No, listen, I knew nothing about leverage. I knew nothing about residual income. I knew nothing about making money while you sleep. I wanted to be the superintendent of a large school district. That was my goal. My bachelor's is in elementary education. My master's is in educational administration. I did that in 15 months. I was halfway through my PhD when I saw ACN. My PhD was in urban superintendency. So I wanted to go to the top education. I knew nothing about, this type of income that we're making today. I wanted to be rich. I wanted to make a lot of money, but I thought my avenue was going to be through working hard, through creating a name for myself, through getting these degrees, and then therefore leveraging that to open up learning centers. So I just never knew that this type of lifestyle was possible. I love every single day the idea of waking up when you're done sleeping, living life on my own terms, doing what I want to do when I want to do it. having my kids live this lifestyle and understanding that, there were sacrifices that were made to live this way, and they're going to have to do the same to get what they want in the future as well. So I like being the example.
Well, tell me this. Now, coming in and getting involved with network marketing, it was something new. Like a lot of people on this call has never done network marketing like yourself, and you saw it and you took off with it. Give us 3 things that you struggled with in the beginning. Give us 3 things.
I think one of the hardest things was being coachable. Even though I'm an athlete, and I've come up under coaching my entire youth, I just think when people get involved with network marketing, they think that they see it sounds so easy, and they feel like their approach, they know their friends, if that makes sense. They know their people. So they know how to approach them. They know how to talk to them. They already think they know what they're going to say before they solicit their response. So I think my hardest part was being coachable, following somebody's game plan, following somebody's blueprint. Listening to someone who was where I wanted to be, even though, I wasn't there yet. So I think most importantly, people need to be coachable. If somebody's making money off you, why would they tell you the wrong thing to do? I say that all the time. If I'm making money off every rep you get, off every customer you submit, why would I tell you how to do it the wrong way? If my income is dependent upon you doing the right things and you making money, why would I tell you the wrong things and not make any money? We share revenue in this company. So I think coachability is a major problem with new people. I find the people who come in coachable always make the most money. The people who come in coachable always build the biggest teams. The people who come in coachable always, have the biggest numbers, because they are listening to the proven success system that was available. Number 2, I would think would be consistency. I don't tell a lot of people this, but I started ACN in October 2002, but I quit ACN in December 2002. I got involved. I had a lot of success early in my first 8 days. I made some money. I was profitable, but that's really all I saw. Then it became work for me. It became a hassle, to make the contacts. I felt like I was convincing people. I felt like I was pressuring people. I think that was because I didn't have the big belief of what the company could do. I felt like, in recruiting, I felt like recruiting was something I was doing to them, not for them. So I think my biggest problem early in the game was consistency. I kept starting and stopping, and you can't build a big business that way with a lack of consistency. And I think number 3, would be, honestly, I wasn't doing ACN. I would go to the trainings. You could jump on a Zoom like this. I wouldn't miss an event, but I wasn't doing anything. I would leave the training and not go pick anybody. I would leave the training and not go get a customer. I would leave the training and not register for the next event. I was in ACN, but I wasn't doing ACN. So I think that's a big problem a lot of people face as well. So my problems were lack of coachability, lack of consistency, and definitely the lack of discipline in doing the business.
Well, I think a lot of people on here, they're in ACN, but not doing ACN, especially in the last year and a half with all this going on. So how did you how did you turn yourself around from not doing ACN, being in ACN, to turn around to doing ACN and also staying consistent?
Yeah, crazy. I used to date this girl, right? Her name was Kim, and I quit the business, right? And one of my best friend, my fraternity brother, he was getting promoted to an executive position, and he said, "Come and see me get promoted." Because I had stopped going to events at this point, and I just wasn't feeling ACN. I was just done. I was writing my dissertation. I had a lot going on, so my boy was like, you could be good at this. And this is another training, man. It's like, you have people who used to be in ACN who still think about ACN, who could really be good at ACN, but for some reason life got in the way, they fell off. And I see in the chat it says keep it moving. Yeah, but you can keep it moving, but you can also reach back to people who could be good. My friend reached back to me. Even though I had quit, even though I had stopped coming around, he said, you could be good at this. You have the personality, you have the charisma, you have the work ethic, you could be good. And he said, just come see me get promoted and I won't talk to you about this no more. So I came out to the event, but instead of just coming by myself, I called this girl I used to date. I said, listen, come to this event with me. I don't want to go by myself. We'll go to lunch afterwards. So she said, sure, I'll be there. So she comes to the event with me, The speaker at the event was a guy by the name of Larry Raskin. At the time, he was the vice president of North American sales. Today, he's the vice president of leadership development. He's in charge of Latin America. But at the time, he was what Mike Cain is today in a bigger way, in my opinion. So he was doing the event, and he was just so cocky, so arrogant. I just loved every word he was saying. I mean, I loved it. His conversation turned me all the way on. But what also happened was the girl that I brought with me to take the lunch, she pulled out her credit card and got in the business. So I'm like, well, I quit. You know what I'm saying? Well, now I got a rep, right? So that rep, who got in at the event that I wasn't even going to go to, that rep got in and became a regional director. Her first rep became a regional director. Her third rep became a regional director. Then 2 levels deep, my wife became senior vice president. So that event with my ex-girlfriend turned into a marriage and an SVP, 7 levels deep.
Wow. So the moral of the story I'm taking away from this is bring people to events, especially your exes, future exes.
They'll get in for sure.
That's a good story. I want to thank you for that. That's great. One of the things you said that you went to the event to see somebody get promoted. And I think that's another caveat we could all use to get people out to look at the opportunity is when we get promoted. Now that we're using a lot more Zoom, how you building over Zoom? Tell everybody what are you guys doing to build over Zoom? Because I know you have an event coming up, live in-person event coming up. I'll talk about in a second, but how are you building over Zoom? How many meetings you doing weekly, daily over Zoom?
I mean, Zoom has been a gift from God, in my opinion.
I know.
If you use it properly, a lot of people nickel and dime Zooms that are making nickels and dimes. But if you treat it like a multi-million-dollar platform, you can make that kind of money just dealing with this technology, And even though we're virtual, I like to make sure that I keep it personal. So if I'm the presenter at the meeting, I always have the host three-way their guest into me, as a confirmation and introduction. I want to get to meet the person before I talk to them. I don't do any presentations to people's names on the screen. Like on this meeting right now, if I go to the view, and I'm looking at the gallery and your picture's not on, I would just click you off my call. You wouldn't even be on my call. Just to be honest with you, I wouldn't waste my time talking to a black screen. I got better stuff to do. I'd rather watch TV than talk to somebody's name on the screen. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe that you're paying attention if you don't have your camera on. And why would I take time away from my family to talk to a name on a screen? Give me a break. So I treat Zoom like it's a real business. Because if I'm in your living room, I'm not talking to you from the living room to the kitchen. I'm not talking to you from upstairs to downstairs. So if you don't have enough respect for me to turn your camera on, I'm not doing the meeting. That's just first and foremost. Most people, I've seen people do a presentation to somebody's name on a screen. I'm like, who you talking to? How you know they're even there? Give me a break. But I like to treat it seriously. Because I say in my business, I don't need you, but I want you. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a standard for what you're doing here, man. And if your standard lets someone, be a name on a screen, you don't have standards. You're probably not making any money. So what I like to do is I like to make sure I three-way call everybody, get the introduction, break the ice, be familiar, and it's not a long call. It's 1 minute, 30 seconds, 1 minute. Hey, how you doing? Mr. Thomas speaks highly of you. Told me you're clearing up 15 minutes of your schedule tonight to take a look at the event. I can't wait to meet you. Is this your first time seeing what we do? That's it. A little icebreaker. And then when I get on the call, I'm saying, hey, what's up? What's up, Belinda? It's good to see you. We talked a little earlier. Here we go. It's good to put a face with the voice. Just that little icebreaker, just that little relationship binder. That is going to see, people are joining you. They're not joining your business. So if they like you, they're going to listen to you. If they like you, they're going to want to do business with you. And even I think the most important thing about Zoom is prepping the host too. I like the host when somebody jumps on the Zoom, I like the host to say, hey, listen, what's up, Miss Pat? This is Mr. Burt, who I introduced you to on the phone. He's so excited. And then I'll jump in. I'll say, hey, Miss Pat, thanks for jumping on the Zoom. I couldn't, he told me that you were excited about the business. I knew you'd be the first one logged in. I just like to make it personal. And if you don't have your name on the screen, I'm not talking to you either. Put your name on the screen. Your name not iPhone. But then I do respect and understand that some people don't know how to change the name. So I've kind of fallen back on that. You know what I mean? I just learned how to change the name a couple of days ago. So I'm kind of easy on that. But, if you got to treat it for real, if you don't treat it for real, then people are going to play games with you. They're not going to be available for the follow-up after it's over. They're not going to. Can you believe this hotel has had me on the hold this long, by the way, completely sidebar, but anyway, I also like to have the host in the close with me on Zoom. If we're doing breakout rooms or whatever you're comfortable with, if you've mastered Zoom, you've mastered the breakout room concept, or some people still like to do the three-way call after the event. So I like to let the guests know, hey, listen, as soon as the call is over, we're gonna three-way you in with the speaker to see if we share a mutual interest. Be available. I like the host to say, be available. You know what I'm saying? So when we make the three-way call, all the hosts has to, I get on the phone and say, hey, Bill, what do you like most about what you heard? Bill says, oh, I like residual income. I say, oh, Bill, me too. Do you want to get started with us? If Bill has any level of hesitancy whatsoever, I have the host jump in. The host says, Bill, let's do this, man. What you scared of? Let's make some money as a team. I believe in you. I believe in this. I believe in us. Let's do this. I like to make the host into an aggressive monster before the meeting. I want the host to be foaming at the mouth, chomping at the bit, and willing to be aggressive in helping with the close. I want the host to be on point with it's us versus them. I had a host the other day, Mr. Thomas, say, I had a guy ready to get started. The host said, are you sure? You want to go think about it? I almost threw my computer across the room. I'm like, what in the world? You done booked my schedule, had me do the meeting. I got this guest with their visa out, and you're telling them, are you sure? Yeah, they're sure. Don't be surprised if somebody wants to join the business. Don't be surprised somebody wants to earn residual income. You got in. If it's good enough for you, it's good enough for them. So I always like to make sure the host is on point, because that to me is a major. Oh, G Valdez, I'm not busting on anybody who's not turning their camera on here. I see you're in the chat. I'm not busting on nobody on the trading call. I'm talking about for a presentation. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not talking about y'all. Y'all turn your cameras on real quick. Like, oh, hold on.
No, they should, Mr. Burt. They should have them on anyway. I'm not the only one that says this to them. I've had Mr. Nelson. When I say it, they want to burn me to the stake, but it's so true. If the speaker, even on a training call like yourself or anybody gets on here, they should have their cameras on unless they're at work. And I don't know, like you said, who do you know? How do you know they're not doing something else? I totally agree with you. When I said they want to hang me on the cross. Yeah. But I totally agree with you. Why not for 30, 40 minutes? What is so doggone important that you cannot see the speaker if they could take their time out? And that's how I feel about the same thing, my friend. I feel the same way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So another thing, I'm glad you said it, because that's another one of us that stands with show your face. If the speaker could take time out to come up with something, you should be able to show yourself. So thank you for that.
Edification. And to me, that's a lack of training, a lack of edification, and a lack of posturing, and all that has to be taught, so we got to teach people how to edify, and we have to teach them to live the edification that we're telling them to use, because you get the edification gives the speaker an upper hand to build your business. I make my speaker walk on the water and glow in the dark. I had a guy, I sent this picture to Greg yesterday. I wish I could pull this up. Let me see if I sent this picture to Mr. Provenzano yesterday of this guy on the RD call. If I got it. This guy was asleep on the RD call. Sleep. Look at this guy. He might be on this call. His name is Bill Allen.
I've had one like that. We'll put him off.
Let me turn the light. Sleep. So I sent that picture to Mr. Provenzano. He goes, I'm having this man removed immediately. He was pissed.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah, man, because that's disrespectful, man. It's disrespectful.
That is. Here we're talking about changing lives. They're gonna go sleep on a call, but yet still he'll be on that job, ready to go with two cups of coffee in them. Ain't that amazing?
Sure will. Sure will.
That cracks me up. That blows my mind. I'm glad you brought that up because, here again, it's all about building that momentum. I used to do a call on Wednesday.
Froze up, boss. Uh-oh. Hope that's not ACN internet.
He'll be back with us shortly.
All right. Well, I guess I was going to say I'll take over. No, I'm just joking. Go ahead, sir.
That's all right. I'm sorry. But I'm on board with you about the speakers got to be excited, and everybody should be on board with the excitement and really understand and give them coachable. Like I said, it's so important to have people coached to understand how to do this in a way that's going to work for everybody. So with this said, give me a few tips that you found that's good for people to understand long-term to build their business and stay in the game long enough.
Man, long-term, the whole goal is just to, honestly, I see a lot of people come, I see a lot of people go, and most of the people that go aren't making any money. If somebody called me about ACN, if somebody called me about another company, I'm not listening because I'm making money. The people who listen are the people who lost their way because they lost their check. You know what I mean? And when you lose money, you lose excitement, and you think that your new excitement, you think that just because you go to another company, you're going to make money, but you're making money because you're excited. Excitement is the key. Excitement has the conversation going. It doesn't matter what company you're in. You can create momentum from scratch if you're excited about what you're doing. Most people have just lost the excitement of what they're involved in, so they don't talk about it no more. If we don't talk about it no more, nobody's going to get in your business. It's really that simple. People think that, I'm joining this new company and I'm going to be the king of the world. I'm going to be intergalactic chairman. Well, you very well may be because you're excited about it and you're talking about it. You're talking. Listen, there's no secret to success. You're talking about it and someone's going to hear it. And out of all the people you talk to, someone's going to like it. You just stop talking about ACN. You know what I'm saying? So my long-term advice is to stay excited. It's not about motivation. It's about discipline. It's about doing it even though you don't want to do it. Look at Julian. You see Julian a couple of days ago posted when he was fat. He wasn't really fat. He just wasn't in shape. But over the years, you've seen him progress into the body type that he wants to be, not because he wanted to work out every day, not because he wanted to change his eating habits, because he was disciplined enough to want the result. Most people aren't disciplined enough to want the result of financial independence. So any little thing that comes in their way, any little obstacle, they're going to use that as the excuse to lose the excitement and to stop talking about it. Happens all the time. It's not ACN. It is your pure lack of excitement, of your pure lack, your thought that this is not going to take you to where you want to go. You don't believe in it anymore, so you're just not sharing it. No one loses an ACN. No one runs out of people to talk to. You just stop talking because you're not fired up. So forget motivation, forget inspiration. You need to say what you want and be disciplined enough to go get it. It's that simple. It's that simple. You're either disciplined and you're going to go get it, or you're not. You're either excited and you'll talk about it, or you won't. You don't have to be. Listen, like right now, I got to leave in like 10 minutes. I'm taking my son to private hitting lessons, right? And he gets frustrated when he strikes out. He gets frustrated when he pops up. I tell him, listen, his favorite player is a guy by the name of Fernando Tatis. He's in San Diego. This guy signed a contract for upwards of $350 million. He is out 7 out of 10 times. He's out. Strike out, pop out, ground out, line out. He is out 7 out of 10 times. But the 3 out of 10 has made him hundreds of millions. ACN is the exact same way. You're excited when you go up to bat. You might strike out 7 times. You might strike out 8 times, but 2 times you get a hit. And those 2 times could be 2 dinks. But every dud knows a stud. You never know who's going to lead you to the person who's going to do it without you. You never know who's going to lead you to the person that doesn't need you. Listen, the number 1 RD in the company, check the charts right now. Her name is Brittany Bauer. Brittany Maurer. She's number 1 RD in customers. She's number 1 RD in reps. I never met her a day in my life. Never met her a day in my life. but I talked to her every day of my life. She came from a meeting. I had a leg of my business that was with the RD, went to jail. I mean, for months, yeah, it was his fault. He went to jail, and I was like, man, hold on. One of my RDs is in jail. This leg is probably going to lose some points. So that leg went from 1,000 to 900 to 800 to 700. I'm like, hold on, I got to do something here. This was in December of 2020. I mean, snow outside. So I called every person in that organization. I'm like, who wants to make some money? I'm looking for a new project. Who wants to do this big? I'm trying to make some money. Out of the 140 people I called, one person set up a meeting with me. One person, and he was 4 hours away. So I did a meeting with, it was a snowstorm. Only had 3 confirmations. I drove 4 hours in a snowstorm one way to talk to 3 people. 2 of the people didn't show. 1 girl showed up. 1 girl. That 1 girl got in. That 1 girl introduced 4 regional directors. 5,000 energy points. 100,000 in Zoom billing in the last 15 months. From a meeting I didn't want to go to. From a person who I called who wasn't doing it, who I thought quit, who I re-engaged. You know how we always say it's easier to give birth than to revive the dead? Well, sometimes people aren't just dead, they're just in a coma. You know what I'm saying? So I called this man, revived him. And now I'm telling you, this girl, under that leg, there was a 6-month RD, a 4-month RD, a 100-day RD, and a 60-day RD. All from Zoom, no live meetings. Their first live meeting, they're going to a Steve Payton event in Ohio with Coopus next weekend. That'll be the first time they've ever seen anything ACM related. The first time. So my point is, you don't know who's going to want to do it. You just got to talk to everybody, be the example, and somebody will see, oh, it takes hard work to win. I'm going to work hard too. And it's just going to fall on good. Your seed is going to fall on good soil. There's no doubt about it. And can you believe I'm still on hold with this hotel? This is unbelievable. I don't think I'm getting my money back. This is disgusting. This is 47 minutes and 59 seconds. I'm sorry. Mr. T is froze. All right. I don't know if
you're
there.
I'm sorry.
No,
I know you got to take your son to batting practice, but I want to highlight, number 1, everybody stay fired up. Number 2, stay excited. And number 3, keep your cameras on. I love that one. I'm going to stand on that when I see people with their cameras off, because you're the 3rd or 4th person that said it. And I don't know. I hope they got it by now. Well, sir, thank you so much for your time. We'll let you get out there and hopefully they'll get on the phone and give you a refund of your money back. And I thank you for your time, and let your son get out there and enjoy some quality time with your family. And thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you so much. Everybody, can we show some love in the chat?